and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Badge. I'm your host, Steve Fecto from Talent Development and Learning, and it is my pleasure to bring you episode 8 of season 3, our 32nd episode of Beyond the Badge. And for many of you, it may be your first time here, and let me tell you, for our longtime fans who come back month after month, they know we will never run out of incredible stories. With 48,000 employees at Mount Sinai Health System and growing, there are so many individual and team stories to share, and every month brings a chance for you to experience the best of Mount Sinai. And we've got a great collection of stories to share with you today. For those who are new to this series, these stories come from our system daily huddle. Every single day, our most senior leadership from across the health system huddle up for ensuring we have a high quality, safe day here at Mount Sinai across all of our hospitals and practices and centers throughout New York City and beyond. And during that huddle, that very important huddle, they take a pause to share a recognition story. And all of the leaders, the 100 or so that attend this, they know they have their one chance in the rotation where they say, it's my turn. I'm the leader that gets to celebrate one of our employees that's really done remarkable work. What's the story I want to share? Those are the stories we're going to share with you today. We collected the last month of stories, the ones shared in August, those individuals or teams who were highlighted for patient letters that came in, incredible star peer-to-peer recognitions, or these maybe one-time event that was so special and powerful, they just had to share it. They're really wonderful stories. We've collected them all thanks to our partners who lead that huddle. Joe Mari, Hillary Pauly, and Swati Garg collect these all. They send them to us. And we put them out in this show so that these honorees can invite their colleagues and families and friends to come and celebrate with them and give them a chance to respond to these wonderful stories. So I hope you, all those friends and family members and colleagues out there, are very proud of the colleagues you're here to celebrate, and jump into that chat and let them know how much you value and appreciate them. I love to see a full chat. Set that to everyone and tell everyone how much you love and appreciate the person we're recognizing. And use those reactions. I love it because we've got a great lineup for you. Now, some of our regulars who are out in that audience all the time are our senior leaders, the folks who are on that huddle, who share these stories and they come back to see the full collection. I'd love to give a chance to call on a couple of them to start us off and welcome our audience. So first up, somebody who's in all of these episodes, is always vocal in the chat, who attends that System Daily Huddle, is Dr. Tracy Breen. She's our Chief Medical Officer for Mount Sinai Morningside and Mount Sinai West. Tracy, thank you for being here. Love to give you a chance to say hello to our audience.
Thank you for having me back again. They keep letting me come back. So when he says I'm vocal here, I'm vocal everywhere, but I get to be like hyper vocal here. It's one of my favorite spots. So I'm the Chief Medical Officer of Mount Sinai West and Mount Sinai Roosevelt. As Steve, or Mount Sinai West and Sinai Morningside, oh my gosh, I'm going way back to the old names. As Steve said, every day our most senior leaders get together for 15 minutes, super brief, super tight, highest impact information. Are we safe? Are there operational disruptions? Are there floods? Are there safety issues? Really like the must need to know information. And yet in that space, what we've created, which I'm so appreciative of, is we take that moment to highlight a team member or team, because that is just as important as everything else we're talking about in that moment. And we do that every day. So around the campuses, we go every day. And I think for me, as a senior leader, we're obviously always thinking about safety and quality, but that we talk about that, but you're all doing that, right? And when we hear these stories, those stories connect us to what the work on the ground is actually looking like, how it's being seen, how it's being recognized, and the themes are always the same. They made me feel seen. I felt cared for. I felt safe. Our patients' voices are really important, but also our team members. And so the star recognitions, how we recognize each other as peers, are just as meaningful and important. And I would be remiss, because we're in the season of Your Voice Counts. This is also another way we get to hear from you, right? So we're listening and we're seeing you and we're valuing you, but we also want to hear from you how things are going. So with all of that, I'm ready to say we've got a bunch of celebrants from West and Morningside. I won't take my time and start shouting them out now, but I will shout you out in the chat. And thank you, Steve. It's great to be here.
All right. Well, thank you. And thank you for pointing out your voice count season. If you're an employee, make sure you take your voice count survey. It is so important in our engagement of you and making sure Mount Sinai is a great place to work for you and for your colleagues. And thank you for highlighting the STAR recognition program. We offer links to that right in our resources tab. So if you go to our resources tab, you'll find links to our program. You'll find links to the STAR appreciation app. You can see some about our speakers, all of our celebrants that we're honoring. There's a little blurb about them in a speaker section. So make sure you check that out. Another leader I want to call on also attends and reads and shares their own story in the rotation on the System Daily Huddle is Dr. Peter Shearer. Dr. Shearer is our Chief Medical Officer for Mount Sinai Brooklyn, and just recently adding on to that New York Ioneer and the Behavioral Health Center in Mount Sinai downtown. Dr. Shearer, thanks for always attending and being a fan of the show, and I'd love to give you a chance to say hello to our audience. Oh, and you're on mute. There you go.
Great. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for inviting me. Hopefully, I'll be invited back like Dr. Breen is. I would just want to take a couple minutes and remind people that even though you're being recognized today and your name and your story being called out, again, it's already been called out when you were the one person on that day that your site reported out and recognized you. And so leaders across the system have already heard your story as a focal point. It's really the best part of that daily huddle. So for me and for Dr. Breen, the other chief medical officer on here, a lot of what we do is about patient safety. And if there's one thing I've learned over many years doing this, working in emergency departments, is that we are safer when we have good communication. And that core part of communication is listening and hearing the voices of our patients and our other staff members. And so many of the stories that you're going to hear now are really related to that kind of communication. Our staff who have heard coworkers and patients, heard their voices and escalated and brought care to them as they needed and really gone above and beyond. So again, thank you for including me in this, Steve, and I'm really looking forward to all the stories. Your voice counts. Last year, Mount Sinai Brooklyn came in second in terms of our compliance to Mount Sinai Queens, but we will be first this year in the number of people completing it. So throwing that out there for everyone.
Excellent. All right, the competition's on. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Scherer. And I agree, not only are these great stories on their own, but they're great stories because they illustrate what's so special about Mount Sinai and what leaders are looking for. And they're saying this is an example of what excellence looks like here that we can all learn from and appreciate and value. So thank you to this group. And we know there's many, many stories like that happening every day out there from your colleagues and from your teams. And that's why we'll never run out of stories to share in these episodes. So thank you. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to start with our team awards. And just so everyone knows, the people who are reading the stories, a handout to them. They're members of our Mount Sinai Spotlight Network. This is the people who around our health system are deeply committed to the employee experience and employee engagement. They're the people helping promote your voice counts out there right now. They're collecting the patient letters and sharing them out. They're encouraging people to do peer-to-peer star recognitions. So they're the ones who are going to be reading our stories today. So shout out to them. And let's start by going to one of our corporate teams from the Clinical Command Center. We've got the Centralized Skilled Nursing Facilities Transfer Team. This is a new team that includes Philomena Orlano, Tracy LeBright, Felicia Warren, and Danny Yan. They're over at 42nd Street. We were trying to find the conference room they're in there. Let's get them up on stage. And I'm going to have my colleague, CC Montgomery from corporate, read this story. There's the team.
All right. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. All right. So as a newly formed team in January, Philomena, Tracy, Felicia, and Danny have been instrumental in identifying processes for centralizing transfers to skilled nursing facilities for the Mount Sinai West and Morningside campuses. They have immersed themselves into how to best identify patients who need placement and aligning them to quality providers. They operate under the mantra of right place, right care, right time. They have gone on site to shadow frontline staff to understand the current process and help develop new processes that were more efficient and effective in discharging patients and getting timely insurance authorizations. They continue to dedicate their efforts on improving systems and helping patients while building relationships with the frontline staff. We are in awe of what they have accomplished in only a few months, and we are so grateful for their dedication to the Mount Sinai Health System.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Cece. And hello to this team, newly formed. I love that you're going to the Gemba and learning everything you can. I'm wondering if someone from this group can speak up and talk about what makes this team so successful in your early going, and what is the impact you've seen from the work coming out of your office?
Well, on behalf of our team, first, thank you for the recognition. We all transferred from different parts of the health system, have worked here for a number of years, and I think that our collective experience is really one of our many strengths. We're committed to making discharges safe and timely. And since centralizing SNF transfers at West and Morningside, we've seen a reduction in the length of stay. And that reduction has exceeded the expectations we told were set for us. So we're very proud, and thank you again.
Wow. And in just the first few months, already exceeding expectations, which is why the command center leadership was so proud to share the story of the work that your team is doing. Really excellent. And I got to say, I've seen enough command center that I recognize that motto, the right place, right care, right time. I love a great purpose statement. So to know that that's what aligns your work and has that end in mind and that guides your work is really special too. All right. Well, thanks so much. I know you're presenting on your work to another presentation later today, right there at 42nd Street. So best of luck with that. And thanks for taking the time to come talk with us.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, thank you. Another team. We've got 3 teams. The next one, we're going out to Mount Sinai, Queens, where I have Zachary Key standing by to bring a team on that was recognized by a patient letter that also happens to be an employee who I believe is there. And that team includes Marcine Stevenson, Deborah Freeman, Keva Appleton, Edwin Albuquerque, Tenzin Shoki, Dr. Ryan Corbo, and Vivian Franco. As we read your name in this letter, make sure you give us a wave so we can identify who's out there. So let's bring up that team from Queens. And I believe Zach is there with them to read this story. Okay, do we find the team from Queens? And Zach, if you're there we go.
There we are. There we go. Hello, everybody. So the story reads, a 20-plus year veteran of Mount Sinai, Queens, wrote to express their extreme gratitude for the outstanding care they received after suffering a stroke early this year. They write, I was confused, scared, and wanted to hide in the corner of our ED, hoping it would just go away. While I sat in the ED, Marcine looked over to me and said, you're family, and we're going to take care of you. She got me in a room, gown, and informed the nurse. Deborah from radiology personally made sure I had my MRI and CT scan. The nurse who took care of me in the ED was Kiva, and she's a real superstar. She really embodies all the qualities you need to encounter when facing that kind of crisis. She listened, encouraged, explained medications, most of all, made me feel like I wasn't alone. I was admitted and was given excellent care by nurses Edwin and Tenzin. My attending, Dr. Corbo, was simply lovely. They gave great suggestions and encouragement. I need you to also be aware of the extraordinary team at the infusion center. I feel extremely fortunate to work for Vivian Franco, and the whole staff has visited, sent flowers, and called to check on me. Trust and believe that the support has been instrumental in the journey to recovery. I wanted to personally let you know that we have some fantastic individuals that work at Mount Sinai, Queens. I can tell you that I returned to work as a better employee because of the kindness and professionalism shown to me.
Oh, thank you so much, Zach. And I took myself off camera so we can zoom in on this team. And I believe the author of this letter, Joanne Acasio, is there. Joanne, give us a wave, and we hope you're doing well in your recovery, Joanne, and thank you for taking the time to highlight the people who made a difference in your care. Well, if we can get the Queens team, we know Joanne is there and would love the chance to hear from her. We can come back to you guys. Let's see if we can get you set. Joanne would love to hear from you on your experience, and thank you again for sharing that letter. Why don't we move on for a moment? We've got another team standing by from Mount Sinai West Ambulatory Leadership who recognized the Hematology Oncology Nursing Team. That includes Allison Coluccio, Hazel Fajardo, Tamar Milner, and Yvonne Pereira. And Andres Marrera is proudly ready to share their story.
Thanks so much, Tima, and congratulations to the whole HEMONC team. So this states a family member of a patient who happens to be a senior director of nursing shared, quote, I wanted to take a moment to tell you that you have some amazing nurses in the oncology space. I very rarely am impressed by hospital care after working at the #1 cancer institute in the country. However, the care provided by Hazel, Tamar, Allison, and Yvonne represent the epitome of patient-centered care. The senior leadership needs to know how phenomenal they are. You have gold in these four ladies. Hematology oncology leadership proudly agree, adding, this remarkable team consistently embodies the core values of the Mount Sinai Health System. Their commitment to relationship-centered care is truly inspiring and makes a profound difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Thank you, team, for everything you do. We are so grateful to have you on all of our Mount Sinai West ambulatory team. Congratulations to all.
Thanks, Andres. And it's such credibility when you know the family letter is coming from someone in the business, a senior leader in nursing at another organization. And they recognized you, this team, for being the epitome of patient-centered care. And I'm wondering if you can comment on what that looks like among this team, among this group. And thank you to the two of you for representing the four who are recognized. You know, how do you work together? What is the teamwork role in creating this environment for your patients?
Communication.
Yeah.
And just, working together doesn't mean you just take everything and do things on your own. You just have to learn how to delegate and step in when your help is needed. And like what Yvonne mentioned, really communicating and trying to be seamless in all aspects.
Yeah, what do you think this senior nursing leader saw amongst this group that was the detail that stood out that says, well, yeah, that's what we're doing. That they're seeing that commitment to patient-centered care, and that's what we live.
Well, we make sure that, when they come in, especially at the beginning of treatment, that they're comfortable, that they're satisfied with the care, that there's like these small extra steps that we have to do, right? It may be small, but when you put them all together, it matters a lot. Like just making them comfortable sitting on the chair, making sure they have everything that they need, from like simply water, warm blankets, explaining to them the procedure, taking time to speak with them. And then if in case there's delays, you need to know how to do service recovery. Like, how do you make up for that? Like delays in medication or anything like that. Because that one particular day, there was a little bit of a delay, but when you explain to them and you try to make things up for that, then it kind of like makes it feel much better for them. So they really appreciated the care that we've given to them.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for expanding upon that. These are the details that matter. This shows you have the patient at the center. When you put in those, what you called simply, that's not simple to the experience of a patient. They're meaningful. Right. All of those combine to be meaningful. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Congrats on the recognition and for receiving this letter. All right, thank you, Andres. I know you have the next two stories as well, but we have Queens ready, I heard. We're going to come back to you. Okay, I want to see if Joanne Ocasio, who wrote this beautiful letter for Queens, if you're out there, we got you off. Would love to hear you get a chance to give your appreciation to this group.
Okay, hi, good afternoon. I'm Joanne, and I just wanted to extend my gratitude to everyone here that took care of me back in June. I had a ischemic stroke. And from the very beginning of the experience, obviously I was very confused. I had no idea what was going on, but gratefully I had coworkers that noticed the change in me. And then I called my supervisor and she directed me to the ED. And I was sitting there and I was just confused more than anything. I was very scared. And I saw Marcine, who I didn't know personally, but we knew each other's faces because we both were here. And from the very moment that she said to me, what are you doing here? How are you feeling today? Come on in the back. It was a great sigh of relief. And I can't even express it the way that I want to, the sigh of relief it was. I truly meant what I said about Kiva. I think in these experiences, having a stroke, and being in that situation, more than anything, I needed somebody who was going to listen to me and have patience with me. Through working here, I have developed some relationships with outside departments. And as a result of that, people just came to my aid and really, really cared. And it's something that I hold, and I always will, this experience from beginning to end. To people that served when I was up in the room and brought me food, and the people that worked in housekeeping, the security, everyone, how they were just extremely caring and loving, and I will never be able to repay that back. And I will try, though. I will try, because I don't want that experience to me, it shows me that not only there's still good people that out there that exist, but those good people, those great people work here at Mount Sinai Queens. And I truly believe that.
Yes. Well, thank you, Joanne. I'm so sorry you had to go through this life experience. And it's great to see you doing well. But to have it transform the way you see your colleagues and Mount Sinai Queens is a powerful statement and a reminder to all of us about the important work we do in healthcare and how meaningful it is in people's lives. And to know that you've got that kind of family support amongst your colleagues is really special to hear. Thank you for putting that so beautifully and for writing this up. All right. Thank you all, Mount Sinai Queens. All right, Andres, we're going to go back to you. We had a couple more from Wes. We're going to go into our individual stories now, and we start with our appreciation from patients. And we had a couple from Wes that were letters from patients. We're going to go first to Rivka Eisner from Mount Sinai West. Was recognized by leadership. And there you go. Hi, Rivka. And Andres,
Hi.
take it away.
All right, wonderful. So a patient wrote, quote, I was a doula for my daughter yesterday. From the onset of labor all the way through bringing us to the postpartum floor, registered nurse Rivka worked with dedication, wisdom, and high energy to ensure a healthy and positive experience. Rivka offered excellent suggestions from various labor positions throughout labor. She explained and guided us with patience and determination to be of utmost assistance. Rivka was meticulous in ensuring the safety of the baby and the mother, yet she exerted every effort to make the mother comfortable and relaxed. Rivka exuded an attitude of collaboration and accommodation. She made us all feel that we were a team and she was there to assist us in every way. She was kind, focused, respectful, and full of helpful energy. From start until finish, we were amazed at her tireless help. Rivka is a shining model of nursing at its best. We feel very fortunate and blessed to have had her with us during this monumental time in our lives. Congratulations, Rivka.
Yeah, really nice letter. And Rivka, I'll say your manager added a comment to this story that one can truly see Rivka's passion for her chosen area of nursing specialty through all she does. And I wonder if you can describe that passion. What is the passion you feel and you bring into your care of your patients and families?
So I just love labor and delivery, especially since I had my baby. I have much more of an appreciation for it and being a part of people's birth experiences. I feel like people's birth experiences, especially as first time moms, like makes or breaks their like future trust in healthcare and hospitals. And it's just really important for me to like be with them in that process.
Wow. That's such a special comment, and thank you for that. To think of the whole future of their health experience, that we got them in through this labor and delivery experience, and they're going to have a lot of appointments with their children in the healthcare system.
Exactly.
From that point on, and to build that trust and know that you have people who care for you and that passion you're bringing into their work, you're right. That's a lifelong experience that'll have an impact.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you
And
so much. Yeah.
thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Rivka. Really wonderful letter. Continue to bring that passion into your work with all the patients and families you work with. And Andres, we got one more from Wes. There are all these patient letters, so we're going to keep rolling with Wes while you're up on screen, and that is for Lauren Toglia, who is back. I gotta say, Lauren, if you recognize Lauren, she was just on Beyond the Badge a few months ago. She just started here in March, and the patient letters are flooding in. And it's not even a repeat. It's two different leadership groups who didn't realize she had already been recognized. First, it was Wes leadership, and now it's radiology leadership recognize her in the huddle because more letters continue to flood through. Absolutely amazing. So, Andres, share with us what these letters recently said about Lauren Toglia.
Absolutely. So, lead ultrasound technologist Lauren Toglia at Mount Sinai West demonstrates an outstanding dedication to providing top-notch patient care and leadership. The department has been honored with numerous patient testimonials commending Lauren's contributions since joining the team. One particularly touching patient letter shed light on Lauren's deep commitment and empathy, detailing Lauren's comforting presence, unwavering support, and her ability to go the extra mile for patient comfort. Lauren's gentle, nurturing approach and professional conduct during sonograms have earned her high regard as she skillfully reduces patient anxiety and promotes a calming atmosphere. The glowing patient feedback underscores Lauren's invaluable role within the team, and we extend our heartfelt appreciation for Lauren's excellence in service. Congratulations, Lauren.
All right. Thank you, Andres.
Much.
Lauren, I picture you started here at Mount Sinai West, and it's like a cartoon mailroom where the letters are just shooting out of a system here. You know, this can't be a surprise to you from patients about how much of a difference you make in their care. So, you know, can you tell us what's the secret? What are you intentionally bringing to every patient experience that you believe makes that difference, makes the big difference in their experience of care?
Well, first, thank you for having me back. It's really very honoring to be back here. I want to say, you know, when I walk into a room, I try to be like positive, like how you are, Stephen, like very like positive and happy. You know, I try to walk in and be confident and be positive. And I think when I do that, patients immediately feel like reassured that they're like in good hands because I'm confident. And then, you know, throughout the exams, I really try to, you know, not be Lauren the sonographer, but be Lauren the person, the human, and ask them about their weekend, about their family. And I become vulnerable myself. I talk about my own family. I talk about my own weekend plans. And I think by the time we're done with the exam, I'm just a person talking to another person. I'm not this, you know, intimidating medical professional that's doing this exam that they were nervous about when they came in. So if God forbid they do end up getting some news that they were hoping not to hear, they have a friend now who's there in the room when they receive those news. And I created a rapport with them. So I built a trust that when they get this news or they get good results, we celebrate together and we're happy together. Or if, you know, if I have to, you know, talk with the doctor and say, hey, you need to have this follow-up exam, it's not really what they wanted to hear. They feel, you know, trust in me that everything's going to be okay because we just built this little friendship during our exam. And I think I try to be Lauren the human and not Lauren the sonographer the whole time. And I think that's what gives me a little bit of a, maybe a little bit of an advantage with people because I make myself vulnerable as well.
Right. Well, and that's what I heard, and a wonderful statement. And the two pieces I heard is building trust. And that comes through being confident as a care provider, that this person, I trust that they know their business, they know what they're doing. I can be confident in the care I'm receiving. So protecting that confidence. And then the personal side, the vulnerability and being yourself and creating that bond. And together that trust helps ensure they're going to have that exceptional experience. And you work through the whole appointment to get there.
Yep.
It's interesting because you said that because there's another person today who's a repeat. Clinton Mackle's coming up, and it's pretty much the exact same thing. The first caller was about knowledge and experience, and the second is about personality. And so we're going to see this, and it proves the point.
Really do need both to be successful in medicine because people are looking for someone who's going to do their job well, but also make them feel safe and comfortable throughout it. So having both together is really an important combo.
Takes both. Thank you, Lauren. So well put.
Thank you for having me. Good to see you guys.
Thank you for being a part of our Mount Sinai community and continue to be a star throughout your first year and beyond.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
And thank you, Andres. Great stories from Mount Sinai West. Next up in your programs, you see Suzette Guy. We're still on the lookout for Suzette. Again, we are a busy health system. Not everyone can get here. And they come in and out. So we're going to keep our eyes out for Suzette. Amy Nelson, hang on. If we get Suzette, we'll bring her up. Let's go. Oh my gosh, who I just mentioned. Clinton Mackle is here from the FBA Access Center. Let's get Sadiqa on. Now, Sadiqa, Clinton doesn't have a camera. He's on. He's listening. He's ready to respond. But go ahead and read Clinton's story.
Hi, good afternoon, Steve, and congratulations to all the honorees today. I can actually see Clinton from my office, so I know he's there. He's happy to be on Beyond the Badge. So we received the following patient letter recognizing Clinton in our access center. I'm writing you to compliment Clinton for doing outstanding work. I remember him when he answered for my internist, Dr. Emily Wang, because of his wonderful, pleasant manner and for getting things done in a timely fashion. I needed to call another physician, Dr. Jonathan Winston, today, and my call was answered by Clinton. Again, he was helpful, polite, pleasant, and always patient. I wanted to let you I wanted to tell you about this exceptional employee. Mount Sinai is fortunate to have him on their staff. And I concur. Clinton has been here for about 8 years in our access center, and we couldn't do what we do every day without him. Thank you, Clinton.
Thank you. And Clinton, we're looking forward to hearing from you. And I think it's really special to hear that just by voice, someone's remembering you from the last time they called and they recognize you as the person who was so helpful. And this is not the first time we've gotten a letter from you. And this is what I was just sharing with Lauren, that the last time I went back to the stories, the last time the patient was commenting on your knowledge and ability, your confidence in knowing your stuff, knowing the role. And this time it was about your pleasant, patient, and helpful manner. So can you talk to us about what Lauren just did, that combination of why it takes both your knowledge and skill along with your style and personality that makes you really effective with your patients?
Yes, thank you for the award, first of all. Um, all of what I do comes from being taught by a wonderful team, a wonderful staff. I come in every morning with the goal of helping people, making them happy. Understand, as a schedule coordinator, when I get a call and the patient says, sometimes I feel strange saying, "How are you?" Chances are it's not good. That's why they're calling us, because they need an appointment, they need their medication. And I'm happy to just, if I can get that extra sooner appointment for them, get their medication sent out in a timely fashion, and put a smile on their face. I love this job because I help people on a daily basis. But like I said, I've been put in this position with people like Sadiqa, who from day one had my back, and the rest of my team we're such a good team together, and I'm just honored. I really am, and I thank you all for this. I really do.
Well, thank you, Clinton. And if you're looking for a face of the friendly Clinton Mackle, it's in our program. There's a photo of him there just to see who we're talking with. But I guess it makes sense that you're by voice, that we can feel the love and passion right through your voice, just like your patients do, who never get to see you in person. And they only hear this comforting and helpful and confident voice. And to hear you speak to your passion and to the great work of your team and your leaders as well is truly inspiring. Thank you, Clinton.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you, Sadiqa. Go give him a hug over there. Tell him how much we appreciate him. All right, well, we're going to move on to our next section. It is our Stories of Excellence section. These are some of the one-time remarkable events that came up, and we said, well, this leader is like, I've got to share this. This is just such a great example of the everyday moments that can occur here where someone stood up and they went beyond the badge. They went above and beyond to make a difference. And the first one, we're going to go to Colette Watson from Mount Sinai Hospital, I think for 2 in a row. First is for Darlene Breedis. And let's bring Darlene on up. Here we go. Excellent. And Colette Watson's going to share this story for Darlene.
Thank you, Steve. Congratulations to all. I'm so excited to present the story about Darlene. So the story reads, recently, nurse Darlene Breedis cared overnight for an English-speaking child in the pediatric emergency room who was being cared for by a grandmother who only spoke Haitian. Noting a clear communication barrier that was causing distress, Darlene took the extra time to bond with this family, even though on the day of discharge, she was not the primary RN. Darlene found a way to share her knowledge of translator services via the phone so that the patient and his grandmother could communicate. Then, truly going beyond the badge, she gave them money to get home so that no further delay would hinder the patient's discharge. She escorted them to their cab and then followed up with the family when they got home to ensure all was well. Darlene's leadership proudly expresses how, quote, Darlene has always been a pleasure to work with and is an inspiration to all. Thank you, Darlene, just for being you.
Yeah, and thank you. And I see your leadership cheering you on in the chat and probably right next to you there. And this really is a beyond the badge story and a beyond the badge moment. What details do you recall from this experience? And what was your key focus on helping them communicate and feel well cared for?
I can see.
Yeah, you're unmuted.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Good afternoon. Again, I want to give a special thank you to Cynthia Mendez and Jamie Shrunk for recognizing me that day. Yes, there was a family who came in. I am Haitian. I speak Creole. The grandmother speak Creole, but the child only speak English. So, like, the reason why the child came, it was an ACS case where he was taken away from his mother and he's living now with the grandmother who speaks only Creole. And they can't communicate with each other. So he came a couple times. It wasn't his first visit. That was the second visit. He came in and there is obviously, like, the grandmother cannot communicate with him. So I wasn't the primary nurse. I told whoever was the nurse, then I will be able, is it okay for me to communicate with the grandmother to see what she needs? She's telling me that she couldn't speak with him. That's why he's like, he's having some issues right now. So I was able to show the grandmother how to use Google Translator. Like, if she kind of like press on the speaker, she says the word in Creole, and it will translate for the patients to see what she means by what, like, what she's saying. And also when they were leaving, social worker, they were waiting for social worker and it was a long waiting. I said, okay, you know what? I have $20 in my pocket. Let's take a cab. Let me take you to a cab. I still get in touch with the grandmother. She's still calling me.
Amazing.
So it's nice. And working in the ER, I've been a nurse for 17 years in the ER. It's amazing. It's a great staff, our pediatric team, our leadership, and everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Darlene.
Yeah, keep screaming that. Whoever's screaming in the background to cheer for you. Keep that going all day long. Dawn, really wonderful story and really showing your commitment to caring for the patients that come in and going really beyond the badge in that effort. To hear that you're still in touch and still helping beyond is truly inspirational.
Thank you.
Really wonderful. Thank you so much. And Colette, stay right there. We've got another one. This one, and I've been seeing a lot of chat out there about Ralph Sanchez. Rafael Sanchez is from Mount Sinai Health System facilities. He's there with his leader. All right, Ralph, let's hear this story from Colette.
Absolutely. So there have been two examples in recent months at our 1245 Park Avenue residential building where building superintendent Ralph Sanchez has displayed leadership and heroism on the job. The first was his quick response to an oven fire. Ralph received a call from the doorman and ran toward the apartment with the fire extinguisher in hand. Upon carefully entering the apartment, Ralph was able to assess the fire and extinguish the flames. This situation had the potential for catastrophic property damages or worse, had Ralph not acted so quickly and heroically. On another recent occasion, the building had been broken into on the overnight shift and some items stolen from the basement. For the nights that followed, the doormen were instructed to be on high alert and report anything suspicious. About a week after the incident, the doorman on duty called Ralph after midnight to tell him the person had returned and was attempting to enter a door on a setback roof. Ralph jumped out of bed, called police, ran downstairs, and apprehended the suspect while he waited for the police. Both of these examples highlight Ralph's commitment to excellence in his role. Thank you for everything you do, Ralph, in service of the staff of the Mount Sinai Health System.
Wow. I mean, so I think it's your leader there using your name to comment that Ralph Sanchez is Batman, and truly sounds that way. Ralph, lean in a little bit so we can see you here in the backlight there. Two stories.
I got to see my head.
Two stories. You're fearless in your commitment to ensuring the safety of your residents. And I'm just wondering if you could talk about the personal commitment you make in your role that guides you to respond in such a heroic way like this.
Yeah, we kept an eye on him, but like I said, everybody in that building is like my family, so I protect them just like that. Mount Sinai have been protecting me. I protect those who works in the building, so I treat them just like family. So everybody's there for security purpose. I'm there. That's what I'm there for 25 years, and I love this place.
And he loves his manager.
Well, I mean, there's one thing to love the residents of the building, to care for them, and there's another to actually become Batman. And to the middle of the night, the signal goes up, and you spring out and do this. And this isn't something even at Mount Sinai would advise to put yourself in harm's way. And you just do it by instinct. You're a special.
It's like protecting the family. I am protecting my building, and I'm protecting the property and everybody else. And that's what I would do. for Mount
Right.
Sinai.
And you're truly responding in a way that you would your own family in
Yes,
that
yes, I will.
response to say I'm
Thank you.
stepping up and protecting them. It's incredible heroism.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the recognition and everything.
All right, Ralph. I know your manager's there to congratulate you some more. Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
service. And I hope everyone at 1245 Park knows how lucky they have it to have you. I'm sure they do. All right, thank you. Colette, we're going to come back to you for a couple little later on, but if we're ready, we're going to go out to Mount Sinai, South Nassau next. Olivia McGregor from South Nassau has a story for Marissa Barrett. If we can get Marissa. Hey, Marissa. All right, and Olivia is going to share your story.
Great. Thank you, Steve. Marissa Barrett is an integral member of the Partial Hospitalization Behavioral Health Program at Mount Sinai South Nassau. She always maintains a calm demeanor and is the first to offer assistance in a crisis or when extra help is needed. Most recently, while a patient was having an apparent medical crisis during a group session in another room, Marissa sprang into action and called 911. Marissa then helped manage the reactions of the group members who were startled by the event. Marissa's leaders appreciate that she always lends a supportive ear to her team and offers feedback and suggestions in working with shared patients. Although Marissa exemplifies all of the Mount Sinai South Nassau values, she shines brightest in the area of teamwork. Thank you, Marissa, for your contributions to Mount Sinai South Nassau.
All right. Yeah, thank you, Marissa. So I hear this story and it really demonstrates how you calmly handled a patient crisis first, but then it attributes your reaction to the deep commitment you make to the team, that you have this deep commitment to teamwork. And I'm wondering if you can tell us about the importance that you see in excellent teamwork, particularly with what's described as a high-risk population, and how that mindset drives a response like this.
Sure. Yeah. In my experience working as a team, specifically with high risk patients and that population has many benefits, especially you're able to learn from others and their clinical expertise and collaborate. You see a different perspective on situations and utilizing different therapeutic interventions, which is important. And in the moment of crisis, you definitely, I do specifically lean on others for support to ensure that your main focus can be on the patient and prioritizing their safety as well as the safety of others, especially in a group setting, and the safety of yourself. So when one team member is handling a crisis, I try to go into it with an all hands on deck mentality to make sure that our patients feel cared for and understood, and that my colleagues feel supported. And support for each other also models skills, behaviors, and teamwork to our own patients and demonstrates to them that we work well together and that they are in a safe place.
Right. And that's safe for them and safe for your colleagues to know that they're going to have your support. A crisis comes up, a colleague is going to run in, a colleague is going to come to help. We have Marissa who will do that and come in and help. And what I love about this also is that it wasn't just handling the crisis, but then the fallout. You know, how are people emotionally impacted by this? Let me take the time to talk with the others who witnessed this and how they're experiencing it. To do all of that is really what makes this story so special.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We're glad we could share it and recognize you today. And thank you for the great work you do at Mount Sinai South Nassau.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And we're going next to a Mount Sinai Health System pharmacy leadership. Recognize Joyce Lim from pharmacy. And I'm going to have my colleague Cece Montgomery come on back for this one for Joyce. Hi, Joyce. This is from A Great Catch. And we're going to bring Cece up to share this story.
Hi, Steve. Hi, Joyce.
Hi.
Joyce made a great catch on August 14th with a combination doxorubicin etoposide chemotherapy for a patient. The order was showing as 5 doses instead of the correct 4 as per the chemotherapy protocol. Joyce discovered the discrepancy and informed the team immediately. This prevented the patient from receiving an extra dose of doxorubicin etoposide. Thank you for your attention to detail and commitment to keeping our patients safe, Joyce. This further highlights the importance of having a system of double checks and verifications to keep our patients safe. Way to go, Joyce.
Yeah, thank you. I love a good, great catch. And they're so common. In pharmacy, I was talking with your leader, Joyce, and we talked about these. And, you know, there is a system at Mount Sinai to give confidence to our patients that these things get caught. That we have these systems in place to ensure these medication discrepancies don't occur. But I wonder if you could speak to your personal commitment to patient safety, how you maintain this vigilant approach that ensures you'll always catch a medication discrepancy like this.
Thank you for having me here, Steve. Thank you so much. I feel like in healthcare, our number one priority is always patient safety. And in pediatrics, the emphasis on accuracy is just even greater. Every dose, decimal point, and preparation can really significantly impact an outcome. We double check, sometimes triple check everything. And in this case, the timing of the chemo, the number of doses, matching the regimen to the protocol, down to the calculation of the drug based on the body surface area. Everything has to be checked, double checked. As a pharmacist, we are one of the last checkers before any medication is being given. So personally, as a parent, I always look at what I give my kids. So whether it's food or toys, so I treat each patient like my own child to ensure that I really dedicate to them the same level of vigilance that I give my own kids. And most importantly, I have to note that I really can't do this alone. So in PEDS, it's always a team effort. And everybody next to me, my colleagues, they all let me do my job most efficiently. Everyone in patient care, I'm sure I forget somebody, but like the NPs, the nurses, the medical residents, all the fellows, they all collaborate. And I really thank you for, this is not my catch. This is really a team effort catch.
Right. Well, it's bringing and shining the spotlight on what your team does to give us all confidence. So no, there are people, there's a Joyce out there making sure double and triple checking and making sure every single thing is at its safe, high quality experience for the patient. So be able to shine the light on that great work and give us all that confidence and knowledge is really wonderful to hear.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joyce. And thank you for recognizing everyone like you who's doing this great work in pharmacy. All right, and thank you, Cece. Next up, now I'm going to call on our Mount Sinai Morningside. We've got two in a row. Now, Ramalin Benia couldn't be here. I'm going to have Tyler Geegan come up and read this story. We just found out she had a family emergency, isn't able to make it here today, but I know her team is here. I believe her leader's here, her team's here. This is such an incredible story and one of the best examples I've heard of service recovery. I said, Tyler, we got to still share this story. So you read it. When you get to the quote, I'm going to put up a slide that shows it, but go ahead, Tyler, and take this story for Ramalin Benia.
Thanks, Steve. I completely agree. It's an amazing story. So when practice supervisor Romulan Bonilla of our Mount Sinai Morningside Geriatrics and Palliative Care Clinic was made aware of a situation where a patient's home health aid services were close to being suspended if the forms weren't sent in on time, she took immediate action. Romulan placed a call to the patient, who was understandably very concerned, and her son quoted Romulan as saying, quote, "I could give you my most sincere apologies for this inconvenience, but I know that is the last thing you need right now. I just want you to know that you are not alone, and I understand that right now you are angry, frustrated, and very vulnerable. Trust me, I can feel it. I just want one small favor from you. Try to breathe and don't worry about this anymore. This is now in my hands, and I won't leave this office until I get your services restored. Just think about what you'd like to have for dinner tonight, because someone will be there to cook it for you." Raman Bonilla is an outstanding employee who goes above and beyond for her team, for her patients, and we are so fortunate to have her as part of our team at Mount Sinai Morningside Ambulatory.
Thank you, Tyler. Absolutely agree. And the theme of the day is confidence. And think of that one line of the confidence. He said, I'm going to take care of this. I'm on it. You will have these services restored. You can relax. Is that confident approach to show that, yes, I feel the trust. I feel the care. And just a wonderful story, Raman. Give her some love in the chat. We're going to share this recording with her. We're so sorry she couldn't make it in the end, but we know her team is here to cheer her on. And Tyler, we're going to stick with you. Our next story is moving into our appreciation by colleagues section. These are often from star recognition. So get out there, write a star. This first one is for Michelle Vituli from Morningside. So let's bring Michelle up and take it away, Tyler.
Great. So yes, a colleague wrote, quote, "I had the honor of experiencing the great skill of Nurse Michelle during a rapid response that turned into a medical code on 9 West. On MedSurge, a medical code can be pretty intimidating. Michelle showed up, introduced herself as the critical care nurse that was part of the code team, and said, 'Hi, I'm a critical care nurse, and I'm here to support you during the code.' Her agility was so impressive. The most impressive thing, though, was how she was able to teach me and guide me during the high stress moment. My heart went from beating a mile a minute to knowing that because of the support of Michelle, I was able to face the difficulty of the medical code. Michelle maintained eye contact, and I cannot tell you how valued and capable she made me feel. Her kindness and spirit of empathy was not only given to the patient, but toward me as a newer nurse. Michelle is not only a star, she is a rock star. Congratulations, Michelle."
Love it, love it. And I had the pleasure of talking to Michelle early on before the episode today. Michelle, clearly you're a skilled critical care nurse for your patients, but here we get to hear of this incredible impact you made in supporting a colleague. And I'm so appreciative that they took the time to really write out and let you know the difference you made in their day and their experience and how important that support was. So, when you read this note from a colleague, what stands out to you as an attribute you really take pride in bringing into your role?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I just want to say thank you for choosing this story to highlight. I think it's a very important one, especially in, healthcare and nursing. What stands out to me in the note the most is the recognition of teamwork. That's something that's especially important on my unit here in 7 East, which is the ICU. And being part of a critical team has shaped me to be the nurse that I am today. Nursing is more than just a job. It's a calling that demands not only clinical skills, but also leadership, empathy, and resilience. Every day we face challenges and we don't do it alone. So we lean on each other, work together, and celebrate success, big or small. In that moment on 9 West with Chastity, I wanted to remind her of the strength of this community that we built and reinforce that she is exactly where she's meant to be. So the path of nursing is tough, but it's one that we get to do aside others. This is what makes the team so special. We get to lift each other up and we push each other every day to be better together. So we make a real difference in the lives of our patients and each other.
Absolutely. Thank you. And that is why teamwork is one of our values. And what Michelle's talking about is what that teamwork means. I'm sure teamwork is a value in every organization, but this story is what truly shows the difference that it makes at Mount Sinai for our patients, amongst nurses. So thank you, Michelle, for sharing that insight. Thank you for being there as a great teammate and colleague for the others that you work with. And we're so happy we got to share this story today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Great to see you. And we are going to move on now. Nicole Giammarino, I haven't seen her. We've been looking for her. She had a conflict. We're going to keep our eye out for Nicole. But Colette, for now, let's go back to you. We've got these 2 more stories to share in this Appreciation by Colleague section. And first up is from Mount Sinai Hospital Ambulatory, Tyrene Familia. Hi, Tyrene.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
All right. And Colette, let's hear her story.
Absolutely. So Tyrene Familia has demonstrated remarkable creativity, empathy, and teamwork, earning the admiration of her peers. During our transition to Epic, Tyrene has been a tremendous asset, providing invaluable assistance to her teammates. Her empathetic nature showed through as she guided our 2 new registrars, ensuring they felt supported and well integrated into the team. Tyrene's dedication and positive attitude have greatly enriched our workplace, and we are grateful for her continued hard work, commitment, and exceptional contributions to our team. Congratulations, Tyrene.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Tyrene,
you know what they say, when you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. So I love what I do. I love helping people. I love helping my colleagues. And my job is that when you walk into my clinic, you see my smile, you see our happy positivity in the front, and when you leave as well. So I love working for Mount Sinai and with my colleagues. Thank you so much for this.
That's so wonderful, Tyrene. Thank you. And here you see the difference that bringing that love into your work doesn't just have on the patients, but has on your colleagues who wrote this up for you and wanted to express how much they value you as a colleague and member of their team.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. I hope you continue to love what you do and bring that into your everyday.
I will.
All right. And I know Manny Pimentos are waiting on deck from Mount Sinai Health System supply chain. He does that work for Mount Sinai Hospital. So Colette, let's bring Manuel Pimentel up and hear this story.
Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Manuel. So Manu's recognition reads, Manuel Pimentel's exceptional teamwork and collaboration with the nursing team has been instrumental in improving patient care, and his passion is evident in every aspect of his work. Manny consistently exceeds expectations, demonstrating a remarkable and truly inspiring commitment to excellence. This has been validated by his peers as he received 3 separate star recognitions from colleagues over the past 5 months. One example from the KCC5 Medicine Nurse Manager states, quote, Manny was our guest speaker for today's learning hour. The staff truly enjoyed learning from him and really put things into perspective, especially in relation to fiscal responsibility and reducing medical waste. Manny is always available to us when we call and is a valuable resource and support to the nursing team. Manny's leaders added their appreciation saying, quote, Manny, your contributions make a significant difference and we are grateful to have you on our team. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to our mission and for continually going above and beyond.
All right. Thank you, Colette and Manny. So your leadership recognizes your inspiring and genuine love for what you do, much like Tyrene, who we just heard from, bringing that love into your work, that passion for your work. And I'm wondering if you could talk about that. What is the personal pride and love you have for the important work you do at Mount Sinai for our patients and for your colleagues?
I mean, you said it. Inspired. I'm inspired by the care patients receive and the way Mount Sinai provides quality service to the community. I do my best to contribute to helping the system run more efficiently. I truly appreciate this recognition. I work to set a professional standard for myself, and I'm grateful that is shown throughout my daily actions. This would not have been possible without the support of a great team and the opportunity to work in such a professional workplace. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Manny. And I'll tell you, three stars is a lot to come in. And I know we copied Quimberly DeLeon was one of those managers who was one of those stars. Over the moon to hear that you were being recognized from that. I mean, you have a lot of fans amongst the teams you work with who really, really do appreciate you beyond the 3 stars that you received.
I'm grateful. I mean, it takes a team.
That's right. Well, thank you so much, Manny, for your insights. And we're so glad we got to share your story today. I think last second, here we go. Did we get Nicole Jammarino on? We're going to try to bring up Nicole. Katrina, if you're ready, we're going to go. It's like our little bonus here. We had just enough time for Nicole Jammarino to come on up. My team lets me know backstage that we might have her.
I'm here.
Nicole, great. We're glad you made it.
Hello.
In transit, found a spot.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to highlight you, Katrina. Why don't we start this story? Okay, you go ahead, Katrina. We'll bring her on. There we go.
Congratulations, Nicole. So a physician wrote the following message of appreciation for Infusion Center Office Manager Nicole G. Marino. A patient lost consciousness in the mammography after an ultrasound-guided core biopsy. The technologist called for help, and I immediately assessed the patient and saw that I needed to get immediate vitals on her. I needed to get the vitals machine from the adjoining office, so I ran to the office manager, Nicole, and told her that we have an emergency. She dropped everything she was doing and came to help, assisting us with whatever was needed. She also took the initiative to get a bag for the patient's belongings when 911 took her to the hospital. She was quick to react, showed genuine concern for patients and colleagues, and was a real team player. Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, thank you, Katrina and Nicole. So first jumping in to help during the emergency and then taking the initiative and being proactive to grab those belongings, saying, what else can I do to help in this situation? Can you share with us a little bit about your perspective of this emergency and how you did all you could to assist both the patient and your colleagues in need?
So it was actually like just natural nature to drop and run. Dr. Foreman did seem a bit frazzled. So I screamed out to the clinical manager. She ran over as well. We went over to the other side of the department and we saw the patient on the floor. Dr. Foreman and her team were working on the patient as we called 911. We did go into the system to see who the emergency contact was, in which we were able to get someone on the phone. 911 did come. We gathered her belongings. I put them in a bag for her. I did help escort her out. But again, this is what we're here for. This is what healthcare is all about. It's not, they don't have to be on your personal team, but we all are a team. So together, this is what we have to do. This is why we're in the field that we're in. It's for everyone to have a pleasant, safe experience.
That's wonderful. It said, the idea that it doesn't have to be your team. Anyone who looks for help to be up there to say this, our goal, our purpose for being here is to care for others. And when I have that opportunity to go for it, you're going to go for it. And you demonstrated that and that commitment to purpose. We know must shine through all of the work you do every day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicole. And thank you, Katrina. We have a few more stories. We're at 1 o'clock. Before you go out on the rest of your Friday, there's more stories to read. We had a few folks who couldn't make it here today. And I know Alyssa, G, and Andrea, if you want to share a quick word about where we can find those other stories in writing. And
yes, absolutely.
We'll highlight you.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and drop the link in our chat here today, but we do have a couple of stories that we wanted to mention for those who are unable to attend. We have Natalie Burcheshevsky, who was recognized for her 20 years of service at Mount Sinai, Brooklyn, highlighting her instrumental role in the department. We have Maria Spontanelli, a transporter at the Blavatnik Family Chelsea Medical Center, who was recognized by staff in the infusion center for going above and beyond to ensure timely and excellent care for patients. And lastly, at Mount Sinai Beth Israel, recognized Digital and Technology Partners Director Renata Williams, whose collaborative spirit is truly inspiring, and her ability to come up with creative solutions to challenges has been instrumental in driving the organization forward. Again, you can find their full stories and their personal responses in our program, which we'll share in just a moment. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations to all celebrants of today's episode.
All right, thank you. Yes, more stories were shared. There was a story shared today, and we're bringing that to you in our next episode. We're back every month. October 25th, we will be back with our 33rd episode, episode 9 of season 3. But I want to give a special shout out to this group, this collection of incredible employees and teams who have gone beyond the badge in their work that led to senior leadership recognizing you on the huddle, and our pleasure to share them with you today. Thank you to all the family and friends and colleagues who have come to cheer them on. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time.